Sharper Point Commentary, presented by Schwartz Laser Eye Center.
In the days, weeks, and months leading up to yesterday's election, many candidates claimed they would be unifiers. They talked about being a senator for all Arizonans or a president for all Americans. But is it possible, now that it looks like Donald Trump will retake the White House, that the people who opposed him will work to unite with the most important Americans in our lives, our neighbors, our friends, and our family, even if they voted for him? Unity. That's going to be a tough one for the next 4 years, especially if what I saw back in 2016 happens again, when Donald Trump won his first stint in the White House and tons of Facebook friends insulted everybody and anybody who dared to cast a vote for him, insulting my father, insulting my older brother. I'm not going to tell you who I voted for. Compliments of Trump's sycophants. We didn't get much unity after the 2020 election, although storming the Capitol, calling for Vice President Mike Pence's neck in a noose did a lot to unify the nut jobs. But back to how Democrats and even the Republicans who opposed Trump's return to Washington can get along with their friends and family who voted for him. Yeah, just remember, many Trump voters voted for him with their fingers holding their noses tight to keep the smell of his bombastic personality from invading their nostrils, but voted for him because they couldn't afford a clothespin to hold their nose closed. They voted for Trump because they're paying more for everything. Whether or not he can fix higher prices remains to be seen, but remember, that's why many people voted for Donald Trump. So don't be too mad at him. And when talking about the ballot props with Stan Barnes this morning, he pointed out another reason we can be proud of our family and friends who voted.
All of the constitutional questions, except for the abortion question, all the others failed. And I'm kind of proud of Arizonans because it's one of those things where if you're going to put it in the Constitution, you're gonna marry it forever. And I mean, and a lot of times in my experience, constitutional questions, they tend to fail because voters are pretty discerning as a bulk.
Pretty discerning as a bulk. But if you don't have any bulk in your back pocket, as in cash, it's really easy to make up your mind often. And keep this in mind as well. People that voted for Donald Trump also voted for Democrat Ruben Gallego, also voted for that abortion access bill, and voted to secure the border as well. So you don't know who your neighbors voted for all the way down the ticket. So just remain calm about all this. And no matter who you voted for or who you wanted to win, let's all take a second to celebrate that yesterday's vote went off free of violence, which is not the case in places I've been to, like Iraq, or other places where votes don't even take place because they're Middle Eastern kingdoms. Yeah, the elections in Maricopa County have been under the microscope for the last few years, so I think we can all breathe a sigh of relief, whether your guy or your gal won or lost, that we got through this day unscathed. And I'll vote for that every single day of the week.
Thanks for watching Sharper Point. Click to see more from Arizona's Morning News and tap the button in the middle to subscribe.